the Texans, they have brought in left tackle Cam Robinson. He played with the Jags, was drafted by the Jags, was their left tackle, and then
7.5 years.
Yep, went to Minnesota last year. A veteran left tackle, has started at left tackle the last 2 seasons in Jacksonville and Minnesota, and a really good get, right? Like you'd have told me, I said it, they need to get out of the Tunzel business. If you'd have said, all right, man, we're going to trade Laramie Tunzel and get, resources back off of it, and Cam Robinson's going to be a left tackle, I'd have been like, okay, all right, that, like, obviously you're taking a step down in overall player, but Cam Robinson can still play a good left tackle for you, especially if interior-wise you really take a step up. He is a good football player, and now you do have 3 tackles on this team, and now it's just trying to get the feel of what this is going to look like and how these puzzle pieces are going to land. And again, Clint, we haven't gotten to the draft, and there is still time, even with free agency or trades or whatever, for them to continue to make moves with the front 5 right now. But they do have Cam Robinson added to that, and it could mean that that Titus Howard is kicked back inside to play guard as he finished the season. I'd like to go find his page. You think it still says right tackle?
Ooh. Yeah,
I wonder if it still.
It'll be interesting to see how the restructure. It'll be interesting to see how after playing out of position, looks like the left tackle position is going to open up. Laramie Tunsil gone. What does Titus Howard think that door is open? It's cracked for him. He's played well there before. It's where his best film was put out when he was at left tackle. And boy, that seems like that door closed dead in his face before he ever got a chance. But this is I'm coming around, Ron. I'm coming around.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, they still have the draft. They still have there's potential other moves that can happen, right? Did you wake up today seeing Cam Robinson? I thought they would probably try to run with the tackles that they had, and that if there was going to be big additions, it would be to the interior. That was my thought process.
I was leaning probably draft a tackle and sign another guard or maybe roll with what they have at guard. Was more of kind of where I was at. You got Blake Fisher, Titus Howard. If you draft a tackle in the first round, second round, then now you got a guy that, yes, you'd like for him to start, but you've got some insurance there where you got other options there, and you don't have to rush him if he's not ready. I was leaning more that direction, but now with this sign with Cam Robinson coming in, obviously, I think the play is interior. I still think the play is on the offensive side of the football. I still think the play is first and second round draft pick on the offensive side of the football, and I think one of those would be an interior offensive lineman, a guard or center.
Yeah. We'll see. As they have, again, one thing we can make clear, and I believe, they did get better from yesterday to today. From the text line, Ron, you're tripping. This is the only time I disagree with you, fam. What do you disagree with me about? I don't even. I honest to God, I don't even have a take yet. I don't have a take yet. I just want to see what the pieces are going to look like how they just got a bunch of pieces. They just got a bunch of pieces that could have the potential to play anywhere, right? They got Scruggs who could play any of the. I would imagine, we were talking during the break, I would imagine that Nick and D'Amico moved. We were at that draft in Kansas City, moved up in the second round to go get Juice Scruggs to play center. I would imagine they want Juice Scruggs to play center. So
I would imagine they're going to try to force that one, which scares me because the communication piece, not the inability to play the position, the communication piece. But go ahead.
So I would almost think that he's got probably the driver's seat there, and then as you said, maybe they draft with one of those, maybe that 25th pick that is a guard that they draft, and he is in somewhere, I don't know if that means Tomlinson goes to the bench, if that means Titus is a guard, or if Titus is a tackle. Not sure what that means. I just know they got 3 tackles. They got 2 centers. They've got one guy who's played better at center in the time they've been here. But that guy was drafted in the 6th round. In the 6th round, the other guy was drafted in the 2nd round. I don't know. We'll see. Again, like I said, I don't even have a take right now. I am just intrigued to see how these pieces fit and what. I just wonder what's in their mind of how they see a depth chart.
Well, it's again, there's. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel with this one. That's what, to me, that's what's important. As a fan of the Texans, it's not the route that I expected the Texans to take. I expected them to take the route the Bears did, which I'm going to sign 2 guards and a damn center. I'm going to get over aggressive. It's not the route that I expected them to take. However, I love some of the moves that they've made. And I think now with the Cam Robinson trade, you are one more move away from, I think, all of us being able to get around a table and come to an agreement that the Texans' offensive line is better and should be better than they were last year. Now you're one move away, which I think could be a draft pick, could be another free agent sign. You're one move away on the offensive line, which I think is interior offensive line. Once again, you're one move away from me sitting around a table and having the ability to have a serious conversation about what Nick Caley and Cole Popovich bring to the table. That's where I'm at. One more move away from saying, okay, you've done right by C.J. Stroud. Now, C.J., you got to take this bull by the horns. You've got to lead this group. You've got to fix this group. You've got to take this to the next level. You've got to play a different brand of football. You've got to protect these guys. You've got to help Nick Caley. That's your job, C.J. Stroud, if you're going to be a $60 million guy. Until those moves are made and this O-line is shored up to a point where we can all look at each other and agree, hey, this group should be better tackle to tackle. Until that's done, I can't lean on Cole. I can't lean on Caley, and I can't lean on C.J. Stroud. They're one step closer. I like this get.
All right. Elsewhere in the NFL, apparently the Vikings have made their decision. As you said, Aaron Rodgers appeared to have been on the beach, wrapped himself up waiting to see if he'll have the chance to be able to play with Justin Jefferson and Jones, who he played with, and that crew, that offense they had over there, and that defense that won, 14, 15 games last year. That door apparently is shut as the Vikings have decided that they're going to get a veteran quarterback, but a veteran backup for their young quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, who they drafted in the 1st round, which would lead us to believe that it's the Steelers and the Giants now for Aaron Rodgers' services. And is this even if you're Aaron Rodgers, is this even a discussion?
It shouldn't be. If you're Aaron Rodgers or the Steelers, it shouldn't be a discussion. It should be, you like me? Check yes or no. Okay, I'm checking on mine. Okay, let's go.
Malik Neighbors,
Brian
Dable.
No. Brian Dable. Look here.
Yes or no.
I mean, in that division with the Eagles and the Commanders, and say what you want about the Cowboys, you still got to deal with Micah and Dak and CeeDee Lamb and company. They're a regular season, but yeah, I mean, Brian Daboll is about he's a 2 and 4 start away from being fired. Yeah, no, the New York thing doesn't interest me at all.
He doesn't have to move.
Look, he's a West Coast guy. He's moving anyway. He moves as soon as the season's over. His ass ain't still in New York. Hell, he's on a beach somewhere with a blankie wrapped around him, taking pictures. He ain't in New York.
I said a blankie.
I mean, look, here's the deal. This is, and I've said it from jump. Now, obviously, Minnesota entering the equation, back a week or 10 days ago. That's a different animal. If I'm Aaron,
this on the Pittsburgh thing, because when you say Pittsburgh and Minnesota, you start looking at the weapons. Pittsburgh's weapons, I think, are crazier mentally. But
yeah, I agree with that.
It ain't. Is it that far? Like DK and George Pickens?
No. If you're just talking weapons, no. I mean, you could probably make an argument that those weapons are just as impressive as
Warren, the running back, is a good. They have reshuffled and built this offensive line. They got Watt. They got Highsmith. They got Fitzpatrick. I mean, that's a That's a good team with weapons too.
Yeah.
The tight end Freiermuth, he's
like
good
him a lot.
too.
Yeah, no, look, I think on paper you could bump them two up pretty. The problem is one team won 14 games last year and should have won 15 and had home field advantage and didn't. Now the other one just scraped by, right?
Won 11 or 12 with Russ.
Do more with less. Yes, do more with less. I agree, but that I don't know. For me, the Minnesota thing, Kevin O'Connell, Jordan Jefferson, the weapons. The whole thing is set up, and there's proof that it's set up to make a run. It's wild to me, and look, Cam Hayward is the only one we really heard from, and I think that once I went back and listened to the audio, I was like, okay, that's being taken a little bit out of context, but. Like the media's response to this, as if the Steelers are still like Terry Bradshaw's Steelers or something that everybody wants to go play for. Like Aaron should be thankful that the Steelers are interested in him. The Steelers are they've tried every approach to fixing their quarterback. They've drafted a guy early. They've signed a veteran. They've signed a guy that was a flop, that was a developmental guy. They've had fill-ins along the way. Now they've re-signed their backup that wasn't good enough the first go round. I mean, it's just like the Pittsburgh Steelers should be looking at this thing like, sure, we're going to make plans to draft or whatever with a younger guy, but in order to compete in our division right now, we need somebody a signal caller.
I would say, nope. Both of them need each other as equal to me. I
agree with that.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know about you, Tyler and Clint. I didn't think that Aaron Rodgers would have the potential to have a situation this good in front of him. Like a potential to have a Hall of Fame head coach a team that has culture, that hasn't lost, that doesn't have losing seasons, that has DK Metcalf, George Pickens, hell, even the slot cat they got is pretty good and played pretty good for them. Freiermuth and draft picks to be able to get backs, and their running back is really, really good. One on the road with a defensive player of the year caliber player and Watt and Mika Fitzpatrick. I thought he was going to be looking at Giants and Titans and maybe have to come back with the Jets. Like both of them should look at the situation and be like, this is. I agree with you. What Pittsburgh has, because right now it's either draft somebody, try to get up and draft somebody, or I don't think they're talking to Russ. I don't even know who else is out there. Jameis Winston.
Well, it don't matter. It don't matter any of their options, Ryan. Does Mike Tomlin really have it in him to draft and develop a late first round guy or a mid first round guy? Does he have that? Are the organization going to be that patient with him? Does he want to do that? Right? When it boils down to available, Aaron Rodgers is making throws last year in the second half of the season with the Jets that a handful of quarterbacks in this league make. If anybody else was if C.J. Stroud was making some of the throws that Aaron Rodgers, you should look at it's a highlight reel, whatever. If C.J. Stroud was made some of those throws, we would be talking about his arm is as good as there is in the league, and the arm talent. And boy, this guy's like those throws are absolutely ridiculous at any age, but damn sure 40. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they're going to win in the next year or two, this is their chance. This is their chance.
And if Aaron is going to turn his career around, I think this is his chance.
100%. Yes.
I think this is going to get done. There's no way he's going to New York, right?
I wouldn't think. I would think since Minnesota bowed out,
this should happen.
I would think that it would happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And this right now. Where would the Steelers be in the AFC comparative to the Texans if Aaron Rodgers went to that team? Because standings, and I think in every way, they were behind the Texans last year.
Fresh out of the Pancha Karma.
If I remember correctly, they were right behind them the whole time, weren't they?
They were close, and then the bottom fell out at the end for the Steelers, and then they really looked bad going into the playoffs. But if Aaron Rodgers and remember with Russ, they went on a roll. They went on a real roll. That offense turned around. They went on, and we know they can win. That defense.
Let's ride.
They passed the Texans.
What are the Texans right now?
Texans were 10-7 last year.
No. Like if you had to look in the AFC rankings, like what I saw, you had something in the sixth.
The Chiefs,
the Bills,
Ravens, all had better
Bengals.
records.
The list I saw, the Bengals were ahead. of them.
That list, yeah. The Texans were sixth in the AFC. In that list, the Steelers weren't ahead of them on that one yet, but they didn't have a quarterback.
Well, I think Aaron Rodgers, with those guys you mentioned, DK and Pick.
By the way, that list had Denver and the Chargers both ahead of the Texans. Yeah. Now, fairness, the Texans had not brought in Cam Robinson yet.
J. Gar Johnson, was he in yet?
Yeah, he was in, but
you got it. It'd be tight.